Hey guys, I'm gonna add this to the beginning of the video that I did a couple days ago. I was actually gonna channel something, but I may still do that. I just want to get this up for something to put on my channel. I haven't had the chance to go into a channel with her by myself and Autowrite. I may do that later, but I just wanted to put the cards up for this. And if you're still having doubts after the reading, I was having doubts after the reading, even though it was very straightforward. I went and watched, I can't remember his name. He's a doctor on here that, or a psychologist that does like body language. He's by himself. Um, he did 2 body language on Scott Peterson, and he's done one recently, and he doesn't think the jury got it wrong. So that validated my cards. So I wanted to put that out there. Um, and I'll let you go ahead and watch the reading. Hey guys, so today I'm going to do a tap in with cards for Laci Peterson. I've already done a reading on her, which a lot of people say, oh, I knew things I did not know. I work cases only if I don't know a lot about the case, and if there's things that can still be found out about the case. So I know that there's new stuff coming out about his court, if he's innocent, whatever. I like to pull the cards as a form of validation, and sometimes I get extra information on the cards. Cards and tools are always an extension of you, so they tend to be very accurate and tend to give a lot of extra information that I sometimes don't pick up because I'm just a human and I don't know everything. But sometimes spirit can work through with the cards. So things are always as we perceive them in the cards. It can be past, present, future in the cards. Same thing with the reading, or same thing with the reading. And so we just have to see what they say. Remember, cards are kind of symbolic, and it's how we make sense of them, right? So, sorry, I'm a little spacey for some reason. All of it. Every time I go to start her reading, I get spacey because this is the second time I'm actually recording this because I really forgot what I was going to say. But if you like true crime and psychics and mediums, and you like me and you like this type of work, please like and subscribe. And if you want to help out the algorithm, you can always hit the share button and the copy button. All the ways to support me are down below. I have merchandise. I have, if you're interested in the necklaces or any products that I do make. I don't have a website for them yet. I'm not really sure how to do that because I make them personally. But if you're interested in anything, let me know. I also have the Otter Spirit bracelets. All that information is down below. You get 20% off and $1 of your purchase. Okay, hold on one second. Of each bracelet goes towards the otters. So, anyways, if you're here and you want to support the channel, those are all the ways to do so. All right. I do have the old podcast down in the links as well, and my book and whatnot too, if anybody's interested in that. All right. All of a sudden I got technical difficulties. Anyways, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and we'll see what the cards say. Okay, now remember, this is everything that could be surrounding the case as well, surrounding him, surrounding her, just what's in the energy of what's going on. So we have assassination, which I always take as like someone took someone's life. It doesn't necessarily have to be like they hired somebody. It can be, but you're assassinating someone. You're taking their life. Okay. I meant to say this is for entertainment purposes only. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty. Viewer discretion is advised. We have a health risk. So, her being pregnant, she may have had, I don't know if she had any health risks or things that were going on, but just by being in the relationship, it was a health risk with everything that was going on. So I often get this card, I notice, whenever like people are in bad relationships or they're around certain people. So just by being around that, you're in that situation. Drugs and poison. So I don't know if he thought about drugging her, poisoning her, if he did, or if he's used anything in the past, but that's coming in. You have the homicide card. Imprisonment. He is imprisoned right now. And again, remember, the cards can have multiple meanings, just like anything, astrology, readings, whatever. So he's imprisoned right now, but also she was kind of imprisoned in the situation because I think she felt that way because she was pregnant. Many women do. She was missing for a period of time. I don't know if there was anything burned. I heard that the van was burned. I don't know if that's just because this is coming in because it's around the situation, or if that was done to make it look like something. It feels like a distraction of some sort. We'll see more as we get into it, but there is an arson thing here, and there is rope. So I have heard that she was tied in some way, shape, or form. So that's just coming in the cards. And I did that. I think that came in the reading before, but I believe it was validated. Again, I didn't know anything about this case when I first went in. I know it's hard to believe, but I try to live under a rock for a reason. Then we have the death card. And he did say that she ran away or left or whatever. Like, that's always the age-old story, right? But this dismemberment, I think, is because I don't think she was in one piece when they found her. I don't know if he had anything to do with that, or it's just from the, murder. Natural object, which, I think I saw a pillow in my reading, so that could be involved. She was but it's showing like alive, unconscious when she was strangled. Okay. So I always feel like I can't breathe with her. Actually, when I started this reading, I felt like I couldn't breathe, and I feel like I couldn't think. Like, I was very spacey headed. So alive and unconscious when she was strangled. So she might have been hit or something before that. Missing, she was for a minute. Again, fire comes in. We just went through that. Deceased, which we all know, and then hand, fist, etc. So you have to use sometimes, most of the time, they use your hand when they strangle, but also, if he hit her or anything prior as well. Okay, so we have, the child, which we know she was pregnant when she passed, and parental figure of child. Okay. Royalty, so, he was more affluent, but he's a con man. Rival. I think he was her rival at the time. Pretends to be a good guy, but he's really the devil. Affluent. So, that's usually someone of more stature than couple. I mean, they were a couple. He carries a serial killer energy. Again, this doesn't mean he is one. It just means he carries that energy, but he did unalive 2 people, allegedly. Successful person. Family dynasty, so part of the family. Bad guy. Thief. I don't know if he stole anything else, but thief can be stealing something emotionally, physically from somebody. Spouse, partner. Family. Male. Terrorist. Father. One person. So that's who we got. That's what we got so far for the person involved. In the astrology chart, I'm going to see if I can get some help with that, because that'll tell us everything, really. So we have the careerist. So this is somebody that's a dreamer of grand schemes. They're cunning. This is a coach, but developed a plan. Journalist. He has talked to journalists and whatnot. I don't know if he ever wrote to any journalists or anything like that, or if there's anything he's ever written, or if he's thought about writing a book or whatever that may be. He's trying to repair. This is a repairman. Repair, restore, restart, renovate. So he's trying to restart his court case. Young. He was young at the time. He was like 20 something. Vitality, innovation, potential growth. Lawyer. He's not a lawyer, but there are lawyers involved. Remember, this is coming around the case as well. Law, cases, defense. I don't know if he's got a new lawyer or what that's about. And this can just be police involved. Traveler. So he did travel to take her, and he is the singer. This is like performance, like he's trying to put on a performance. But we have the father card. Paternal authority, so that's just a worker, service, consultation, employee. You could take this. He used to be a salesman. So avenger, memory, resolve, hatred, plotting. So he plotted something. Athlete, he was strong at the time. Hunter, he has strategy, pursuit, survival. Community, so this is, he is known to the community and the society, and there's a connection to the community. I mean, they lived in the same house. So revolutionaries, he's trying to fight for his justice, or fight for his freedom, I should say. He's trying to, put it out there that he's innocent and trying to do everything he can to get his way out of here. He's actually the clown. Comedy and mask and performer again. So we have 2 performer cards. So that just says that, like, he isn't who he pretends to be. He's good at putting on a performance and pretending to be someone he's not. Okay, so this is happening around the case as well. Okay, so think about that too. It's about everything that's going on, past, present, and future. So, party. So it was around Christmas, but also it was alleged that he was partying when she was missing. So, and he may have been a partier and liked to drink and do things. And I feel like he was at that point where he just wasn't serious about the relationship anymore. She was loyal, though, to him. But she did have some jealousy because I feel like she knew about an affair or affairs or something like that. So there was some jealousy there. But there's evil surrounding this. There's rumors surrounding this, especially like with the burglars and stuff. There's rumors surrounding it. Travel. He did allegedly travel to take her body on the boat. Some sort of secret weapon. Or there could be some kind of communication that's a secret weapon for DAs. I'm not really sure, but there's something there. Okay, so he's trying to put up a false flag and create doubt. It's funny, I don't know why he waited 20 years to do that. Unless it takes that long to get a new one, I don't know. But there's war. Some sort of revenge. I don't really understand that. Meeting. So I don't know at what point that was, if that was before or after, or he was meeting her before he left. Secret trip. I don't know. Was there life insurance? Does anybody know if there was life insurance on Laci? Mental health issues. DNA. I think there was like DNA on the tape and stuff like that. Trauma. I think Laci was dealing with a lot of trauma at the time. I don't think he was very good to her. Didn't bother him. He was happy. Some kind of fraud involved with him. There's a paper trail of some sort of embezzlement. So, this was sole contracted, though. There may be some sort of paranormal element. There has been justice in this case, and this could be that there will continue to be justice. He was all about the sex. There's a witness that may have seen his anger before. And gaslighting. He was a flight risk. I think he was trying to run at some point. There is some sort of corruption, though. Intoxication. So I don't know if he liked to drink or if he was not really sure about that. I feel like she was actually in fear of some sort of him. Maybe because she saw some of his true colors. There is evidence. And there was perversion. I think, again, he was having an affair or more than one affair. I think he did like to party. I think he was in his 20s. He wasn't ready to be settled down with the baby. There we go, affair. It's interesting those 2 cards coming together. Perversion and affair. He thought he had a strategy worked out. That was the whole point of the fishing trip, is what I just heard. This did become a very famous case, so he did become a celebrity, unfortunately. There's investigation. and drama. There is drama going on in the investigation that he's brought forth recently. There was unseen danger here, and it was a crime of passion. So she didn't know that he was going to unalive her. She didn't see this coming, but this was a crime of passion. There's lies about love. There's egotism involved. This was prophecy, like there was unseen danger, but this is prophesized. This is something that unfortunately can't be changed. That's the way I take that card. Down the rabbit hole. Lots of people down the rabbit hole recently. There's some sort of protection going on. I don't know if he was in debt. An incoming message that seems important. False accusations, because he's throwing out false accusations towards someone else, allegedly. Terrorism. He could have been a terrorist to her. That's how it came in before. That's how you usually pick up that stuff. Of course, there was a alleged somebody stealing things like down the street or across the street, whatever. I wonder if that was going on for a little bit and he kind of picked his timing around that. I'm just wondering, like, to create doubt, but truth comes out. There's something about the timing that's off, or some sort of a inside job. I mean, this would be considered an inside job inside the relationship. Demonic possession. Microchip. So there might be something, phone towers or whatever. Like I said, I don't know much about the case, honestly. He was controlling, and there was an abuse and neglect going on, and that can be emotional as well. But he has regrets about it. Not a whole lot of regrets, but some regrets. All right, so we have evidence. We have government involvement, which there is, and that can be just like they bring in the FBI, they bring in this investigator, they bring in that investigator. It doesn't necessarily mean like it's a corruption investigation. We have alcohol again, so I don't know if he liked to drink or what that's about. And so he's trying to say that this was a break-in and it was because of a break-in. So that's going to show up in the cards. It doesn't necessarily mean it happened, or he tried to make it look like one. It makes me wonder if he didn't, in a way, set this all up. I'm wondering if there's other break-ins in the area and he knew they were going on. It's almost like, okay, I can create doubt by saying that it was this, because all the cards and everything that I feel and all the evidence that we know and watching the psychology, I mean, honestly, it doesn't feel like it's anybody else. But I'm just wondering if, like, he knew about that and he used that. Do you know what I mean? Confession, phone call message. So I don't know if he's confessed to someone or will confess to someone, or there's something around that in a phone call or message. Planet evidence, but I think that's kind of like, I'm just wondering about him trying to make it look like somebody else. I don't think the cops planted evidence. It's not the way I feel about it. Justice, investigation, jail. He is in jail, but kept secret. There was an argument, and guilty. It's hard when the cards pick up things that are going on around, and you have to decipher and perceive what they're trying to say. Like, again, if anything's going on around the case, it's going to come in the cards. So the murder mystery card says this crime may be solved by DNA testing or other scientific methods, which they did do that, but he's wanting different ones done. But jealousy, an affair, or love-related crime. And additional evidence is at the crime scene, so it's kind of late for that. But in the future, the killer may admit guilt. Already interviewed the killer, obviously. Argument or fight is a strong factor. Dating history or killer knew the victim. Interview with relatives or friends may provide key clues. And I don't know if he ever sustained a wound or anything during. I don't know if he did or not, but it's saying that he sustained a wound during the murder. So, one thing I do keep seeing is I do keep seeing argument, like, over, I think, the way was treating her and allegedly, and things that were going on in the relationship. Okay, so these are what's the vibe cards, and her energy is in here as well. It tends to pick up, again, stuff going on around the situation, her and him together, things like that. So the first thing we have is lust. So apparently he had affairs, and this is greed by any means necessary and considerate. So this could be money, affairs, things like that. He wanted what he wanted. I figure the blocked card, I'm taking it as like she was done. She was finished with it. She was over the crap. Clingy, old ways, old exes. So he wasn't changing his ways. He was continuing to be the same person. I feel like he hurt her a lot and he continued to do so. But she was trying to have boundaries. She was done with the disrespect. Enough is enough, defending herself. She was done with it. She was having boundaries and she was trying to recharge. So she was trying to let go, breathe, and clearing her mind and trying to get away from this situation. But she felt hopeless, lost, and depression. And he sent her a lot of mixed signals. And there was a lot of bad choices and games that were played in the situation. The relationship was stuck. It was a dead end. It was frozen. And she felt like she was drowning over her head, over extended rock bottom. And also, it's interesting because she was found in the water. So that's kind of a crazy symbolic card. And envy. So there was some discontent going on here. Not happy. And then so there was distance. She was thinking about separating, divorcing, because he wanted his thrills in a lot of different ways. Bad decisions, addictions, continued cycles, being with a lot of women, partying, doing all that stuff. And of course, there was rumors and gossip. I don't know if she was being told by this or it could be around the whole case, but she could have been being told things about it, about him that were going on. And it caused chaos in the relationship, upheaval, disaster, and this was the downfall. Because of his thrills, that was the downfall of the relationship. And she really just wanted intimacy. She wanted that intimacy. She wanted the unity, the closeness. That's what she really wanted. But instead of that intimacy, she was exhausted. She was burnt out. She was empty. Because he was masked. He was always hiding another side of himself. He was concealing, he was being deceiving. And sometimes she felt paranoid, like she was cautious and insecure and guarded. Like that's how she became in the relationship. She became very insecure. And she always had worry and fear and emotions, especially being pregnant, not sure what she was going to do. And she became antisocial. So I don't know if she began not going out as much or staying home or just being kind of withdrawn. She felt left out. And they might have had some silent treatment going on at some point too, because there was tension. There was tension in the relationship. Stress out, migraines, worry. There was tension there. And then she had an epitome. All of a sudden, I'm self-aware. I have the answers to the questions that I've been looking for, and I am going to leave and be done. And I'm going to burn bridges. Cheyenne. Of trust, there's disloyal, and so I'm turning there's lack of trust, disloyal, so I'm turning my back on this guy. And wishful thinking of how things could be. I wish we had a second chance. I wish things weren't the way that they are, but they are, because he's leading a double life. He's a cheater and a backstabber. And so in the end, she felt rejected and left alone. So I feel like he gaslit her a lot and manipulated her, the way that they do. Wants his cake to eat it too. And I feel like he's really good at tricking people, putting on this mask, like the card said. He pretends to be one thing when he's really another. So we have threatening. I find this interesting because he has a pew pew, which is something I kept seeing. And I don't know if he ever threatened her with it. I know he had it in his glove compartment. That could be why I picked it up. I said, I don't know why I keep seeing, but it's there. So, but it's interesting. Intimidating, threatened, bothered. Bad karma. I don't know if one of them had more money than the other, or if there was any issues with the car. I'm not really sure. Your light irritates their darkness, so I think he fake flexed. I think he wanted her to stick around and still do what he was doing. Like I said, Kiki needed to. But she was really sad and hurt over everything and upset about his bad reputation that he had. And I don't know if someone had like fake social media accounts or something like that. Like, I mean, cheaters do that. They put up fake accounts sometimes. He didn't want her to be happy. Like, it was okay for him to do what he was doing, but she couldn't leave him. That's the way that it's coming across. But she was trying to like dodge bullets, like block negativity, escape crazy people. She was trying to get out of it. And he was like, had love on the brain for the other person he was cheating on her with. He thought he was too busy winning at that. And she was trying to reflect to figure it out on what she was going to do. And he was forcing things on her. I think he was forcing her to stay in the relationship. Forces their way in, uses force to get what they want. So girl fight, that could be just arguments, a physical fight, which I feel there was an argument. No facts. He spits no facts. He just says what he wants to say, makes shit up. Creativity feeds off of you is the one that makes sense for. So she was feeding off of her because he was a drama starter. He fed off of the drama. In a way, he's kind of haunted by, I think she was haunted by flashbacks of how things used to be versus how they were prior to this happening to her. He was having a love affair, of course, we know, sex, secret lover. Like, I think he was having more than one in their head. Overthinking, stress, overanalyzing. This was Laci. This is how she felt. Like, she was always overthinking, overstressed. And this was just a very toxic, unhealthy, karmic relationship. That's what it ended up being. It might have not started that way, but it ended up being that way. I feel like, again, he was very manipulative. He gaslit her a lot. I see him getting angry over little things. If she would ask him questions or whatnot, like, he would get angry about it. And make her think like she was the one going crazy, although he's the one out having the affairs and doing stuff. And again, I'm wondering, I'm getting like a reference to COKE. So I don't know if he was doing things like COKE at the time or drinking, because that seemed to come up a lot in the cards. And if he partied, I can see that. And maybe people didn't know about that. I'm not really sure, but it's not a great mix. There's no impulse control there. So, I mean, that's all I have for you on this. Unless I add a little bit of astrology. I'm not sure yet. So, until next time, see you later.